Well, YouTube, it seems to be it's that time of the month again. You know, that time that comes around, every so often where we get the shit all over Twitch for being a horrible platform. And to be fair to Twitch this time, it seems to be that it wasn't really their fault for this happening, but it still brings a smile to my face because I don't know if you've been around the channel for long enough, you would know that I don't really like Twitch all that much. In fact, I would say that I even hate the platform and the precedent it sets for streaming as a whole, but hey, that's just me, and we'll get into my opinions on this situation and how it pertains to my overall beliefs of Twitch in a moment. But for those who are unaware, Twitch has recently kind of been hacked and had the income of their top streamers leaked to the public. And of course, Twitch streamers are going into damage control mode already, and I guess suppose Twitch as a platform as well. And of course, the person that is in the biggest form of damage control right now has to be Hasan Piker, because of course, Hasan Piker, if you do not know, is a socialist. And when a socialist earns a lot of money, people don't tend to have very positive thoughts about that. Mostly because, whether it's true or not, when people see a socialist making money, they usually assume the worst. They assume that, it's a grift. And I'll be honest with you, it usually is. Especially in the case of Hasan Piker, because it is very hard for me, or I would hope to believe, anyone to take him seriously when he prattles the, salvation of socialism while simultaneously living in a $3.8 million house. Now, I'm not saying you can't live in a $1 million house while you're a socialist, but I would expect you to do more socialist things. So I think it's about time that we kind of get right into the video. But before we do that, I have to ask that you like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because boyos, I am trying to get back onto the YouTube grind set, the Sig Millionaire grind set. If Hasan Piker can, fall upwards, then hey, maybe I can as well. So yeah, I think with that covered, now we can finally get on to the video. So, I had initially heard of this situation around 3 a.m. this morning from Nicholas Diorio. He just tweeted out Hasan's income or something, and I initially had thought that was just Hasan, and that would be a pretty funny video in it of itself, but it turns out that it was at the very least Twitch's top earners, and at the very most, all of the entire platform, which is funny, to say the least. Now, of course, with Hasan, it's very obvious to point and poke fun at him for literally earning any sort of money whatsoever. And, the cherry on top of this all is, I'm pretty sure this does not include donations. This is just, from Twitch itself, everything through Twitch. So he earns, $250,000, I'm pretty sure. I'll show the leaked image, on the screen right now. Yeah, actually, Hasan is making, $210,000, and then it also shows people like XQC who makes $750,000, which I find to be extremely weird because I am borderline retarded as well, but I'm not making that money, so what's the big deal, XQC? Now, listen, XQC I don't have a very high opinion of either, mostly, but at least with XQC I don't think he's malicious. I just think he's incredibly stupid, okay? And then you look at some of the other streamers on here, and for the most part, it makes sense. There's a couple that I kind of don't understand, but hey, at the end of the day, these people are making good money, and it doesn't really matter for most of them. I don't really care. The only people I really care about on this list are the people that would are socialist or have socialist leanings at the very least, and those that really try to portray I'm just like you guys. I'm I game, my life is very similar to yours. In reality, they're multi-millionaires. Those are the only kind of comparisons that I really give a damn about at the end of the day. I think the most interesting part about this situation, though, has got to be the damage control action of it, because I don't really care at the end of the day how much these Twitch streamers make in terms of money. I'm not a petty person. I don't really care. I can live with people existing that make more money than me. But I do find it interesting, the response, because it can show a level of insecurity about their income and how they view themselves online that I think could be interesting for the average viewer who doesn't really, partake in much of this nonsense. So, with that said, how do they do their damage control, you might be asking? Well, for the most part, it seems like they've elected Hasan Piker to do it. Now, there's a couple of ways you could handle this situation, and I would handle this situation even if I were in their shoes. I would not put the person who looks like the biggest hypocrite in this situation in charge of my damage control. That seems pretty ballsy and very stupid. So much so, like, even Twitter is doing a bit of damage control. I think I've probably shown a screenshot here that has, like, the Twitter descriptions for Hasan, why Hasan's trending, and it's just, chef's kiss, honestly. Now, some of these people that are, like, agreeing with Hasan or, like, defending this, I don't even necessarily hate or despise, right? Because at the end of the day, you make your money, it's fine, it's whatever. But, I always think it will be cringe that people defend Hasan on this. This big socialist that, wants to live lavishly, but also preaches how the 1% should pay, right? I find it really odd that somebody that is part of the 1% insists so much that the 1% should pay. It sounds like doublespeak to me. It sounds like you're telling people one thing and other people the other, right? It doesn't really come off as genuine, and in my honest opinion, I don't think it is. If I had to give you my straight up, my completely biased opinion, no, I don't think Hasan means a word of what he says about his socialist junk. I think it's a means to an end to get as much money as possible and appeal to as much people as possible. Because, hey, life sucks for a lot of people, and blaming it on a system that they can't control, like capitalism, the government, bureaucracy, whatever, it's a good way and it's a good out. Now, whether or not, that blame is true or warranted or justified, that's completely irrelevant. All that really matters is that people can feel good about something is screwing them over at the end of the day. And I feel like, for a lot of people, a lot of young people especially, that's what socialism is nowadays. It's not really, helping the poor or the downtrodden. It's all about just feeling good about yourself, knowing that it's not your fault that things are the way that they are. It's the government, it's the economic systems, it's the corporations, blah blah blah. But that's just my armchair philosophy on the situation. And right now I've probably been showing like some tweets on the screen of like people defending Hasan, and I agree with some of them, I disagree with some others. I don't really feel like I should go analyzing every single tweet that's made is really justified. I just want to throw up some responses so you get a good idea of what the community reaction is. I really wanted to throw H3H3 up here on this video, but I have no idea. But no, at the time of making this video, he has not tweeted out anything about it, and I am not watching his stupid fucking podcast to know what he thinks about this situation. And it's because it's probably, and the reason I want to put H3H3 on this list, I should justify, is purely because I do not like the man, okay? That might be incredibly petty, but hey, at the end of the day, I think that he's, done a lot of harm to the online community as of late, so I'd be very interested to see how a person that's very similar to Hasan would also feel about this. I haven't really seen much of Hasan's defense because he's doing a stream on it, and I can't be bothered to watch somebody that I absolutely despise that long trying to trip over his own words and justify himself. But even then, I'd probably put up with it. But honestly, I think his defense, if I could be completely honest with you, will just boil down to this, and that's the old comic of we should improve society somewhat. Yet you participate in society. Curious. I am very intelligent. And this comic is quite possibly like one of the most misused in recent memory. Frankly, because the whole like perspective for it to work is that the person that is critiquing society is this poor and downtrodden person. When it's a big millionaire socialist, it doesn't really have the same impact. And in many ways, I think it's using the comic wrong. Granted, I have no idea what the original purpose of the comic was or what situation it was referring to, and frankly, I don't really care all that much, but at the very least, if you are a person that is like, poor and downtrodden, when you complain, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, hey, you live in society, though. No, it's a lot more hypocritical, I would say, when it's a big, like, a person that actively benefits from the rules of society as they are now that is doing these critiques. I think it becomes off as incredibly disingenuous. And I have a feeling that this is going to, and Hasan and all these socialist types, they really love using this comic for absolutely no reason. Well, alright, they have a reason. It's bad. It's just they want to, like, hand wave away the criticism, right? They don't want to meet the criticism head on and, you know, possibly debate, you know, the hypocrisy within their ideology. Which, you know what? Fine. I don't want to be honest with you, I have many beliefs, and I don't want them always to be challenged, but at the same time, you know, if I'm gonna say that society needs a massive overhaul, I'm gonna give you some reasons at the end of the day. I'm not gonna just sit here and throw a fucking comic at you and say, there's my beliefs, guys, here's my explanation for it and my defense of it. It's always so stupid. I can't stress this enough. I don't think Hasan Piker is a very smart individual, and I don't think this situation benefits really anybody, or makes anybody look good. Well, maybe it makes the people that already are very honest with their income and don't preach about politics and, oh, how we need to improve the world. I think people that don't bitch about that are going to be fine. But the people that do bitch about that are probably going to, in some capacity, really gets the ire from people that are not their audience. Because I should also mention this. I wanted to mention this earlier, but I didn't. You know, Hasan Piker's audience, they'll hand wave away all of this, because they don't care. At the end of the day, it doesn't care. The end justifies the means, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, they don't want to critically think about, like, maybe that their idol or whatever just isn't that honest about their wealth or their situation or their views, right? It's much easier and safer for them to, again, just hand wave away everything. And that is a real damn shame, but at the end of the day, what can I do about that? Well, reasonably nothing, but at the end, but I guess the best I could do would be to just make a video about it, calling this shit out. Not only because I just disagree with a lot of the defense force, if you will, with this situation, and, you know, also I guess to raise awareness about it. And I say raise awareness kind of tongue-in-cheek because I'm just thinking about Grade A Under A's new video that you should totally watch if you haven't. And yeah, with all that being said, I've run this video way too long. I don't want to talk about this situation anymore. If you want to talk about it in the comments down below, you're more than welcome to. And hey, seamless transition, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Yeah, that's basically all I've got to say on the situation. So, I've been KB Baby. God bless your soul. Stay rad. Don't be radicalized. And yeah, I'm signing out. Peace.